Hi everyone, yasas kefalotiri to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today we're going to be making kefalotiri. Basically they're potato croquettes, potato balls, whatever you want to call them. They're the perfect appetizer to serve at a party. They're easy to make. You can make a bunch and freeze them and then fry them as you need them. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin with a pound of potatoes. I'm using golden potatoes, but you could use any waxy potato that you have on hand. Go ahead and put them in a pan and cover the potatoes with lots of water, season with a little bit of salt, and bring them to a boil and cook them until they're really tender. You want them to be fully cooked, super soft, so not mushing and not melting in the water either. It takes about 25 minutes. So once that's on the stovetop and cooking, you can go ahead and prepare all the remaining ingredients. I'm going to slice up these 3 scallions over here, and then I'm just going to put them in a bowl of water, swish them around to kind of get any dirt that's stuck in between them loose and out of there. Take them out of the water, and you can put them in a strainer or over paper towels to get rid of that excess moisture. Then I'm just going to take a handful of fresh parsley and finely chop that as well. And I'm just going to set everything aside so it's ready. And then I'm going to add a cup of Panko breadcrumbs to this pie plate over here. They're going to get dipped in the breadcrumbs. Once the potato balls are ready, we're going to dip them in the breadcrumbs, and when they fry up, they're going to be nice and golden and crunchy. But to that, if I was just going to add the breadcrumbs, it would be pretty bland. So I'm going to add a cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. You could add kefalotiri if you had it. I wish I had it. I would have used that instead, but Parmesan works well. And I'm also going to season everything with a little pinch of salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. Then I have 2 eggs over here because we're going to need to dip the potato balls in the egg first and then in the panko breadcrumbs so that way it could stick. So we're going to just whisk up these 2 eggs over here with a little bit of salt and pepper. You want to season every step of the way so there's lots of flavor. And now once the potatoes are cooked, we're going to put everything all together. So as soon as the potatoes are fork tender, carefully lift them out of the water and drain the excess water out and put them in a big mixing bowl and let them sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes, not too long actually. You want them to be still as hot as you can handle, and then peel them carefully. What I did the other day when I was recipe testing was I put on a pair of gloves, the gloves that I wash dishes with, rubber gloves, and then I peeled them because I wanted the potatoes to still be fairly hot so they could absorb as much of the salt and pepper as possible, because potatoes are super bland. So go ahead, peel them, and then mash them up in the big bowl and season with lots of salt and black pepper. At this point, I'm also going to add 6 ounces or 150 grams of feta cheese. Just crumble it over the top and add the herbs as well that you've chopped, which are the scallions and the parsley. Mix everything all up, and I'm also going to add a teaspoon of dried mint. It adds lots of great flavor. If you don't have dried mint, you could add a little bit of fresh mint. You could add some basil if you prefer that, or even dill, or your favorite herbs, whatever you like, put them in here. Mix everything all up and give it a taste, because next we're going to add the egg to kind of bind everything all together. And I like to taste it before I add the egg. If it needs more salt and pepper, this is the time to add it. At this point, the mixture is cool enough where it won't scramble the egg. So I just add the egg to the corner of the bowl and I just whisk it up gently and then mix everything all together so it can kind of stick together and come all together. Next, we're going to form the potato balls. So you're going to need about 1.5 tablespoons full. This is how much you need. I'm not really measuring, but just to get a really good size potato ball. You can make these as big or as small as you like, so I'm leaving it up to you. But I like this size because they fry evenly when I cook them. So go ahead and form the kefalotiri or the potato balls and put them on a baking tray or on a dish, whatever you want. Get some oil heating over medium heat on the stovetop, and now it's time to fry these up. While the oil is heating, let's get the potato balls ready. So we're going to take a couple at a time and dip them in the egg mixture. Toss them around in there so that way they're fully coated, and then you're going to go ahead and coat them with the panko and Parmesan mixture. So toss them in that mixture, and you could even press it a little bit so that way it sticks in, and then you can transfer them back onto the tray that you first formed them and put them in. And once they're all ready to go, you can fry them. What I usually do when I'm not recording videos is I do this as I go. So while some are frying, I'm dunking the other ones that are going to go into the oil next in the egg and panko mixture. I don't do this all at once, but it does make it easier. You want to make sure the oil is nice and hot, about 350 degrees Fahrenheit if you're going to test it. And you're gonna cook these until they're golden all around. So it's gonna take about maybe 3 or 4 minutes total. And once they're done frying, go ahead and carefully lift them out and put them on a tray or a plate that's lined with paper towels to absorb the extra oil that's on them. So as soon as these are done frying, they're ready to be served straight away. These taste best fresh and hot. This is not something that you want to make ahead of time, unless one way that you can make these ahead of time is if you don't cook them until they're too golden brown, and then if you have an air fryer, like for 3 or 4 minutes, you can pop them in there right before you serve them to kind of reheat them and to get a little more color on them. I haven't done that, but I feel like you can do that. That's the only way. Otherwise, these taste best fresh. If you're not frying all of these up and say you made a double batch or you don't need to serve all of them, you don't have to bread these or dunk them in the egg. You can just put them in freezer-safe bags, but before you do that, it's a good idea to put them on a baking tray and freeze them until they're frozen solid, and then transfer them into a freezer-safe bag or a container so they hold their shape. And then when you're ready to fry them, you just thaw them out, dip them in egg, the breadcrumbs, fry them, and that's it. That's all you have to do. These are so delicious, you just can't even imagine. I would serve these with either tzatziki sauce. You can do a tomato marinara sauce on the side, or even a spicy harissa would taste really good with these. Tastes so good. Time for the taste test. They smell so good, I mean. Oh my goodness. The potato is so creamy. That feta just adds that sharp, salty bite to it. And the outside, oh my God, it almost tastes like it's dipped in chips. Delicious. You guys are going to love this one. The exact measurements are on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. You could head on over there and print this out. Let me know how you're serving these in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.